God darn it. My cousin, everybody, that's okay. Always be yourself with no malicious. We don't do all that hate and jealousy over here. It's the trade off for me. Because my content is not for everybody. And that's okay. It's a trade off for me. Snot. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and this is peace. Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. Don't dim your light, neighbor. Don't dim your light. You a miracle, you're a blessing. Don't dim your light. You know I love you, respect you. Don't dim your light. Yeah, you matter, you're worthy. Don't dim your light. Always be yourself with no malicious. Stop the violence. I'm peace. I bring peace. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It just because moments. Love yourself. Don't dim your light. Far from a hater. We hate the same neighbor. Always be yourself. Stop the violence. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and my content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. It's not. And that's okay. Today is currently November 25th, 2025. Never give up on yourself because someone says you don't have potential. Never give up on yourself when someone wants you to dim your light because you're willing to choose you and you ain't running from your past. The hate train was real, but they didn't understand your balance when it came to communicating, going within, being authentic. It started within at the end of the day. Self-love, hold on one second. Your conscience may not be the same as the average person, but never dim your light when they have to project the hate train towards you. They project their insecurities on you, but you know how to weather the storm. They come relate to it. That was balanced knowledge that God adored within you. We don't pray the same at hold on one second. You ain't have ill intentions towards your neighbor besides being a truth teller. They would never understand how God flow indulge within you to better yourself, to understand the hold on one second. It's okay to be woke. Certain folks ain't gonna like your potential at the end of the day. Being authentic would bother their mental when it come to them being fake. They didn't know how to stay in their own lane. It looks like the competition when you was never part of a race. One-sided mission at the end of the day. Damn, God revealed the devil alone, the enemy. Hold on one second. God was showing you why God was stepping for you the right way. Hold on one second. You understood your right to your left for all the right reasons at the end of the day. Regardless of you for poverty and pain to love yourself another day. My content is not for everyone. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone regardless to what man, woman, couple, or elderly or a child is trying to black women against me. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone. Now, it's a trade on me. No, for real, from my cousin about us. Okay. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. Naya's poetry, my swag. No, it's a trade on me. I'm Naya, genuine respect. Never dim your light, neighbor. Always be yourself when I say it respectfully. No mother or father should lose a child due to lack of self-control or due to someone wants to project spell work or send someone an evil eye because someone doesn't want to see someone prosper in life, regardless to it was an exit day when you came out of somebody's life. Or regardless, at the end of the day, people just outgrow the old, understand that new hits different. I wasn't running from my past, but I'm still my reflection. No mother or father should have to pick up a phone to identify what hospital or call this hospital, that hospital, because the call got disconnected and they trying to figure out their mental health. Hold on one second. I actually prayed for my baby today. I wasn't expecting the devil try to shortchange my child, their growth when it comes to their mental health, being woke. It be the trend of thought for me. How certain folks don't think this way because hold on one second, they had a bad, bond with their relationship when it came to their moms and pops who didn't have one. But they understood at the end of the day, someone actually was praying for someone's baby and they didn't look at them like the same. They didn't look at them the same. They had so much hate and envy. But hold on one second. Cases do happen like this too. You can have somebody that didn't have their moms and pops to show them proper tools. How certain folks will try to paint you to be so ugly within, but you truly had a soul to go within, and you knew how to use your tools. That mother and father that knows how to pray for their child. Because everybody's not the same. Because you have individuals that will clap for their neighbor. Will salute their neighbor with respect and give their neighbor flowers when flowers is due at the end of the day. When it comes to respecting someone's child, God's child, because everybody don't pray the same. They would never understand your intuition. Hold on one second, our belief didn't have to be the same when it comes to God stepping for me, and I ain't have to project spell work in a toxic way. I actually pray for my neighbor. I ain't have to energy harvest so little and pretend to just spell work in a toxic way to make you uncomfortable in your own skin. That's what the projecting you should project on me at the end of the day, to be insecure. They say, now you slow down, but hold on one second. I'm just being authentic. No, it's a trade thought for me. That mother and father that tells their child when they get into the world, be yourself. Love you. They ain't gonna root for you, but never overlook you. You're gonna have That mother or father that may have not gotten the spiritual gifts or may not have gotten the proper tool to be the best singer in the whole world. It's the train store for me. Some people get lucky, some don't. But it still was a blessing when that mother and father knew how to hold their blessing. And it became a lesson because it was a lesson of life that they are able to be by somebody's side and say, you know what, that's a little reflection of me. That's blossoming every single day. You probably didn't have the proper tools when it came to your moms and your pops and your life to show you love or be the protector that you needed to be at that day. But you had someone that you could say, you know what, that's the future. That's the love of my life. That's what I brought into this world. And I wish a motherfucker. Well, that's the traitor thought for me. No, 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 no. You should never have a one-sided conversation with the devil or the enemy. And especially when God is in your household, and especially when you're protecting your child. Because people pick and choose regardless of your culture, your religion, your sexual orientation, your disability, or your age. They pick and choose who household they want to bully. It's a train of thought for me. They didn't matter, or at the end of the day, if you was someone's mother or father. No, it's a train of thought. You used to be surprised how big these bullies look. These grown-ass oversized adults. Ah! Stay away from innocent people now. It's a train of thought for me. You know, my content is not for everyone. But no mother or father should have to grieve losing a child because someone lacked self-control. Did it matter if someone had a single-family household or not? No. Because somewhere, someone heard, someone saw a gift, a blessing. It wasn't a curse. Because someone didn't praise you the same way with your authenticity because you don't have none. You know, people be so jealous by that because you know how to ride a bike faster than somebody at the end of the day. Or because you didn't have to have training wheels when you was a certain age. Or because, you know what, I said I want to prosper, become my best soul vision of myself. I understood why God took them training wheels off for all the right reasons. God said, don't keep stopping. Don't stop. If I'm bringing balance into your life, the right people would cheer you on. And that's what a mother and father wants, the right people to cheer their child on. You know, regardless, at the end of the day, you didn't need bleachers. You didn't need a whole stadium at the end of the day for someone to acknowledge your child and they with respect. When your child leaves out the household, it should be no reason why your child is in confrontation with a grown-ass adult. That should have common sense at the end of the day, regardless of if they truly woke. You know you wouldn't want that projection to be done on your child. And especially when your baby is innocent. It should be no reason why you're rewinding cameras or why you're watching somebody come to you at the end of the day. Multiple people, not people that's going to blackmail the situation, not people who's going to mess with the cameras at the end of the day. No, authentic people, real people, and say, you know what? Your child don't bother nobody. Your child don't even speak to nobody. And that's not a crime. Your child go from point A to Z regardless to what neighborhood, what county, what zip code, what continent they're in. They know how to respect their neighbor. Thank you, no thank you. You know, everybody wasn't taught certain tools when it comes to respect, but it's still folks that were taught those tools and still knows how to respect their neighbor, regardless if they came from a single family household or not, or regardless if they came from poverty or pain or not. No, that's right, I gotta go. But no mother or father should lose a child due to someone's lack of self-control because someone wants to rob somebody mentally, spiritually, financially, or even energy harvest of someone's energy. Or even try to blackmail somebody to project a hate crime to somebody, or let alone, humiliate somebody because someone actually knew how to pour into someone, someone knew how to be a friend, a family member at the end of the day. You know, when God removes certain individuals out of your life, you don't run from your past. You just understand your reflection. It's the train of thought about content of mine that's okay. It's a mother and father that actually prays for their child. It was certain chapters in it like they didn't know how. But when they started choosing themselves, it was never a perfect way. When they realized at the end of the day, I'm going within, and my child's going to know how. You know, I may not make sense to the average person, but that's okay. My content is not for everyone. You know, no mother or father should have their child stripped away from them. Because someone wants to make a mother and father's life miserable. Someone doesn't want a mother and father to be a prayer warrior, regardless if they came from poverty and pain. That mother and father may not have the proper tools of someone showing them unconditional love. That mother and father may not have the stand-up people that need to protect them, but they sure enough knew how. To become the best parents, and they didn't want their reflection, to re-show up at the end of the day, that child vision of themselves, that they still healing. And they're not trying to project that negative energy on a baby. And they're showing a child the way that we can do better when it comes to hold on 1 second. Understanding God's weather. Because when God allowed you to master a storm that can relate to the outside world, they're not going to like the fact that you know how to maintain a smile. They're not going to like the fact that God is balancing your crown. And when you go in with them praying at the end of the day, I truly hope that your child comes back to home in your arms, and I say that respectfully. Because no mother or father should be stripped away from their child because someone wants to project jealousy, envy, insecurity, or energy harvest to someone's child, or project spoke to someone's child, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. I may not make sense to the average person, but my content is not for everybody. I am not an addict or a sex worker, and I would never hurt myself regardless who's trying to blackmail me against me. I walk these streets alone. I do not live in fear, and I'm far from a copycat. I'm authentic. It's the truth. Don't be always be authentic. Don't be no fake. You can't be watered down. And especially when God endorses something within you, they can't take away. They can observe and watch all day long, but God's protection is different. Individual project spoke on you, gang stalk you, monitor your every move, hack your devices, your accounts, your emails, and more. Monitor your mail, your packages, act like you even got it at the end of the day. And the only reason, hold on 1 second, it was always an in-house thing. Because when folks don't like you for their own personal reasons, they don't want you to gain, hold on 1 second, the light to go within. Because they're willing to paint you to be mentally unstable. But God who gave you a life they can't relate to. How God allowed you to love you. Never allow someone to make you feel like you're not worthy of choosing you. I may not make sense to the average person, but gang stalking is real. It don't matter about someone's culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age. And I say that respectfully. How individuals will act like they know you. They will even put you part of the conversation that you was ever part of. They even plot scenes at the end of the day just to blackmail you against you, to try to humiliate you. How this type of stuff actually happens. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Now, it's the train thought for me. Peace and respect your neighbor. Stop the violence. I said what I said. Stop the violence. You are my sunshine. You are a blessing. Never dim your light, neighbor, neighbor, far from a hater. Hey, hey, neighbor, neighbor, neighbor. Blossom, yeah, elevate. Don't dim your light. You're a miracle. Don't ever let someone dim your light. Gotta go. Stop the violence. They pick and choose who could talk about spirituality. They pick and choose who could pick up a puppet at the end of the day to be authentic. They say that you're mentally unstable because you got personalities that they're out of the wall that they can't relate to, so they want to put you behind the wall, with a straight jacket at the end of the day. But hold on 1 second, God was showing you why God was restoring you for all the right reasons, to be sure. Because hold on 1 second, they couldn't control the narrative at the end of the day. When you on God's planet, hold on 1 second, your own world, they can't understand that. Hold on 1 second, elevation is different. How they say get your life together, and then they pick and choose if you want to be an entrepreneur, and at the end of the day, that teacher, hold on 1 second, practice makes perfect. They would never understand how that doctor got their degree at the end of the day. But hold on 1 second, this folks is actually saving people's lives, and this folks at the end of the day that shortchange the folks that they mentor when they come to their growth. And you got folks at the end of the day with the gang stuff. It'd be the train of thought for me. I think I'm doing too much. Hold on 1 second. No, I'm not doing enough. And the train over me. My content is not for everybody. And I say that respectfully. They pick and choose who could talk about spirituality, healing, trauma, and pain at the end of the day, relationships. It's the train of me, and you can't even keep one, Lord Jesus. Or the devil, or narcotics, let alone violence. God was never for sale, likes and views, of cloud chasing or fame, regardless to what your script was that day. The inner handling at the end of the day starts with then. You can't just pick up a Bible to say, hold on 1 second, I changed my life in the most healthiest way. Now it takes action to grow. That's folks that you would never understand. Hold on 1 second, we had different strokes. No, I don't mean no disrespect. At the end of the day, when you understood the obstacles that was placed in front of you, certain folks would never be able to walk a day in your shoes, only was to hold on 1 second, let alone get used to. It's crazy how folks will project spell work on you in a toxic way, but they don't understand that. Hold on, we don't operate the same. No, it's a train of thought. I never understood this. Why would you want to project something on me that you wouldn't want to handle yourself? It's the train of thought, Lord Jesus. And then you swear up and down someone sending you spell work. You's a dumbass. It's the train of me. That's what happened with folks when they worship the devil. They worship their own enemy at the end. They don't understand their own level to stay in their lane when it comes to self-control. What happened to your discipline? You protect your insecurities. Oh, because you understand your own you even understand your own insufficiency in the day when it came to your budget. It's the train of thought for me. How folks would try to be like you, try to destiny swipe. But hold on 1 second, practice makes perfect, but you truly was the one that was pretending. You didn't know how the rhythm of being authentic, because it starts within. If you got to sit there and take notes on the next person, at the end, they at least put respect on their name when it comes to hold on 1 second. They didn't have malicious intentions. It's the trick on me. Let me stop. All right. I may not make sense to the average person. And I may be corny or whack to you. Said that you whack and you're corny, you ain't nobody. They said you whack and you're corny, you ain't nobody. But hold on 1 second. I got the opportunity of choosing myself another day. That's what you wanted to shortchange. You said I was whack and I was corny, I was a nobody. But evidently you're so invested when they come to hold on 1 second, I wasn't supposed to be nobody. I'm a child of God at the end of the day. I'm God's child at the end of the day. When I say I love myself, I go to pray, to go within, understand my hold on 1 second. My God wasn't my enemy. It's a chain of thought for me. We ain't the same. Never allow someone to tell you that you don't got potential. Because they will watch you and monitor you and act like they know you. They will watch you and monitor you just to try to blackmail you, try to ruin your reputation, all because you wouldn't choose you. They wanted you to stop and get lost in your feelings, but hold on 1 second, you was far from a creep at the end of the day. They wouldn't understand, hold on 1 second, you didn't have to pretend to be authentic, look in the mirror at the end of the day, saying they was rooting for you, but hold on 1 second, this whole entire time they had malicious intentions, hold on 1 second, I don't shake hands with the devil. It's the trick of you, have a nice day, son of a bitch, I gotta go. Always be yourself, mama's intentions. I may be whack and corny to the average person, but I'm not for you. Always be yourself. When it comes to practice, that's where perfect comes in place. And you may not be perfect to the average person. You may not be perfect to the person that's sitting next to you. But when you choose yourself at the end of the day and continue to work on yourself, the right people see you, hear you, respect you. Just because you blood relate with somebody today, that don't mean nothing. Because when the right person sees you, they hear you, and they sure enough not going to shortchange you. They actually acknowledge you as a human being. That you are a spirit. That you do have a heart. Because everybody don't got one when it comes to having a soul. It's the trick off of me. Because we all don't dibble and dab with magic or energy harvest of our next door neighbor's energy, regardless of the tax bracket. You know, my content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. It's not. Entertain purpose only. No, it's the trick off me. You know, you ever been minding your business and realize the holiday time's about to be flying around when you least expect it, when you like, damn, it was just summertime. It's the trick off me. You ever had that one function or whatever the case may be? And that one family member that come in so unexpectedly. No, that's a trade off, but you know, the one that don't call, just show up. You know, when they feel like at the end of the day. First of all, you wasn't invited. Two, hold on a second. We back to go back to one. Where's my money, goddammit? It's the trade off me. You ever had one of those family members that just walk in at the end of the day? And they arrive so goddamn early and they only got a snack or two? Come on, what the fuck? The food's still cooking, motherfucker. You ain't got none of food. You ain't got nothing to put on my stomach at the end of the day. No, if the tray don't on yours and you asking for some food, no, it ain't ready. It's the tray on me, first of all. Dinner don't start till about like 6, 5. It's only 11:45. It's the tray that thought for me. You know, you love your family at the end of the day. But it be the same motherfuckers coming around that owe you some motherfucking money. So you mean to tell me that you forgot that you was coming this way and you forgot the rest of the day when you got your exchange for your bottle and whatever you wanted to do to swallow? It's the trade off of me. I don't mean no disrespect, but goddamn. You know you could have made sure when you went to the ATM at the end of the day, you gave back my goddamn change. It's the trade off of me. This fool got so much excuses. You know, fam, I ain't see you all year. Oh, but you knew how to do the two-step with homeboy at that goddamn bar when I last saw you asking for a couple of dollars. You remember that, though? You know, times was hard. It's the trade thought for me. Listen, how you get here? You ever had that one family that they don't want to tell you how they got something today because they knew they spent a little couple of dollars or whatever the case be? Bitch, all you had to say was you got a bus. It's a trade with me. Nobody said that you had to say that you got in the cab, but then again, the cab, because when you hear motherfuckers say they got in the cab with them, the weather outside is not sunny, and you wanted to be dry for the indoor. I get it. You ever had that one family member that had so much excuses at the end of the day, they couldn't even keep it real with themselves and say, you know what? Not was the first time, not was the second time. Yeah, I'm trying to be dry, but hold on 1 second. I ain't got it. No, it's the trick of me. It took you that long to get your words together today. You sound stupid as hell. No, the trick though, because they trying to project on you at the end of the day, trying to change the subject and shit. And you know how when there's a lot of shit going on around your surroundings, when it's holiday time and 2 people in the kitchen, get the fuck out. It's the trick of me. You too. You ain't even got my goddamn money. You know, my content is not for everyone. I may not be funny to the average person, and that's okay. My content is not for you. It's not. I'm Naya, Junior Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone. Always be yourself with no misintentions. Entertainment purpose only. How do I start a sentence if you can't relate? How can I politic about something at the end of the day only for you to realize that hold on 1 second, you can't escape? You know the truth at the end of the day. Something that you wasn't real at the end of the day. Be yourself. Hold on 1 second. You try to figure out, hold on 1 second, how I was multiplying my numbers when it came to my pocket. You was watching when it came to hold on 1 second, coming to your knowledge that you ain't have total common sense at the end of the day. Because you wouldn't want someone to have your child against the back at the end of the day. You know, against the wall. I don't mean no disrespect, but pardon your manners. Hold on 1 second, ma'am, sir. Stay in your lane when it comes to take accountability for your actions. It be the train of thought for me. How chicks and dudes would try to make you feel like you gotta gamble. You right the leper. Who would have knew that God was showing you the proper tools when certain folks had to gang stalk you to overcome what you've been through? They would never understand that the spell work wasn't kicking in at the end of the day. Even when they wanted to have your back behind a wall with no escape. They ain't just different. They wanted you to be labeled as a number, but God gave you a name. They would never understand the favor that God is holding you down. You know, you may not make sense to the average person, but this type of stuff actually happens when you weather in a storm they can't relate to, going within. You know, tools that they can't understand that hold on 1 second. How do you walk by faith if you can't see? How do you walk in right to left and only have to hold on 1 second? I was competing with you this whole entire time, but you never went within. Because hold on 1 second, that energy is different. You know, because the devil try to antagonize you, the enemy would try to make you feel at the end of the day that you're supposed to be shaking in your boots, regardless of you showing you why you were truly comfortable, regardless of the poverty and pain that you was living at the end of the day. That it matter if you had your moms and your pops in your life. Hold on 1 second, you don't want to put respect on your neighbor's name. It'd be the train of thought from even if you didn't know them at the end of the day. They would try to humble you with spoke in a toxic way, throwing chaos magic so you won't elevate. They would try to make us your finds the end of the day different departments so you won't hold on 1 second. Become your best self, visiting yourself when God didn't make a mistake. Because God said, though, you don't live in fear. I'm showing you why I'm fixing your crown. They would never understand how God was steering the wheel right to left. They would never understand the hold on 1 second. It was never competing when it came to the devil. Now, it's the trade off for me. Always be yourself and no intentions. You know, I may not make sense to the average person, and that's okay. I'm not trying to fit in, stupid. It's the trade off for me. It's not a crime to be authentic. It's not. It's not a crime to be yourself. Always be yourself. How this type of stuff actually happens. You don't have to know somebody for someone to want to rob you mentally, spiritually, or financially. How folks will work together just to paint you up to be mentally unstable because you actually knew how to be on a monster to comprehend it. They can't wait to say at the end that you got drugs in your body when it come to hold on 1 second that you were addict, but who would have knew that you was truly clean at the end of the day? Even when you was on God's time and taking herbs, hold on 1 second, you wasn't trying to hurt yourself. It'd be the train of thought for me because you wasn't doing hard narcotics. It'd be the train of thought for me. How when folks swear that they know you at the end of the day, they got so much to say, but they haven't spent a day in your life. All they hear is the wolves talking. You know, it'd be the train of thought for me, how monitoring spirits be right to left, just trying to energy harvest off your energy when you didn't have to pretend. They would send flies and ants at the end of the day. Hold on 1 second, when it comes to these little bugs, what's that? I never saw that day in my life, only because they was just easy. It was ear hustling. It's a trade off for me. This type of stuff actually happens when it comes to the spirituality world. You ain't doing it for likes if you're a cloud chasing off your aim at the end of the day. When you got God right by your name. They ain't just different. God is always within you. They will never understand how you pray. I may not make sense to the average person, but I didn't have to pretend to be authentic. Always be yourself. It's never a right or wrong answer at the end of the day. When you understand, you are worthy. And especially in got malicious intentions. We wasn't on the same page, neighbor. No, if the trade gonna be my content, that's okay. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I'm Naya, genuine love respect, and my content is not for everyone. Just because someone doesn't believe in your purpose, or someone doesn't believe in your dream coming true at the end of the day, or someone doesn't see your worth, that does not mean stop loving yourself. Does not mean stop showing up for yourself. You keep showing up for yourself. You keep loving yourself. They not rooting for you. It's not a crime to be your biggest cheerleader. It's currently 10:39 p.m. and it's currently November 25th, 2005. I would never hurt myself regardless to what man or woman or couple or elderly adult or child is threatening my life. And I say that respectfully. Gang stalking is real. You don't have to know somebody for someone to gang stalk you. Individuals will act like they know you, and then they all don't have a conversation with you, just to try to bring harm towards you or blackmail you towards you, or even dig up your past at the end of the day. When it comes to gang stalking, how they will pay addicts, sex workers, single mothers and fathers at the end of the day. That's on hard times. Just to project fear in you. Or even at the end of the day, try to set you up. How this type of stuff actually happens. And you don't run from your past, that is different. They'll monitor your phone calls. They'll hack your device, your accounts, your emails, and they try to paint you to be mentally unstable. They will act like you had a whole conversation with somebody that you never even talked to in forever and forever and days. Just to ruin your reputation. It doesn't matter what the subject is at the end of the day. Or they even project sport towards people that's trying to come in contact with you, or try to paint you out to be somebody that you're truly not, all because they want a person to look at you at the end of the day. Nah, they fronting. There ain't nothing authentic about them. But this whole entire time, you never had to switch up. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, they're far from haters. They don't got malicious intentions. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It didn't have to take a script to respect your neighbor. With script or no script, it's a train of thought for me. How folks will look at you like competition just to ruin your reputation at the end of the day. It's a train of thought for me. When God sends the right people into your life, they hack their body when you have their shoe size. The energy is different. Regardless, they give them poverty and pain. They know how to respect their neighbor. And when you're not for them, they keep it pushing. They don't got time for no hate train. What type of childish shit you got going on? Everybody's not the same. And they damn sure don't dibble and dabble with spell work. They ain't trying to energy harvest off your energy when they got their own swag. It's the train of when you're a child, they got that energy. It's different. Because everybody use their gifts for different reasons. Some people have good intentions when they use their gifts, and some people don't. But the ones that use their gifts for the right reasons, they're far from haters. They're not trying to kick the next person down. I'm a truth teller. Individuals will take your kindness or weakness and try to blackmail you against you to ruin your reputation, to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, or even project sport towards you. Or even poison your food, your drinks, your narcotics at the end of the day to say at the end of the day that you're mentally unstable. They will try to get you locked up, put you in a cycle at the end of the day. They will even gang stalk you. It doesn't matter who it is, if it's an addict, a drug dealer, a sex worker, a regular person. It's a train of thought for me. You know, my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. No, it's the trick on me. It's not. No. Never allow someone to dim your light. I would never hurt myself regardless of who's threatening my life. I do not live in fear. I walk these streets alone at the end of the day, and I was never a part of someone's one-sided ass contract. And I say that respectfully. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone, and I always have since day one. Always be yourself and never allow someone to dim your light because they threaten you in the background how they going to take your creativity and make funds off of you, or they going to try to blackmail you to make money off of you. And when you speak up for yourself, that your voice doesn't even matter. God saw everything. They say God not real. They got your back against the wall trying to rob you, try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, say that you're slow, stupid, and retarded at the end of the day. Everybody's pain don't show the same. Just like when you have a headache, I can't tell at the end of the day. Your feet feel numb, I can't tell at the end of the day, but I'm still not standing here judging you because I don't know you. I don't know what the medicine that you take at the end of the day, what it's capable of doing to your body, so I'm not going to sit here and disrespect you. I know how to stay in my lane. What's for you is for you, and what's not for you, regardless to what subject it is, just stay in your lane. Here's the train of thought for me. My content is not for everybody, and that's okay. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I love to talk about love. It's a train of thought for me. Oh, you be yourself with no misintentions. Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you. You know that introduction. Who would have knew it wasn't running game when it came to your attentions? You know your attention span actually working. Maturity is different when it comes to your reflection. Someone motivating you when you least expect it. You know, a match made in heaven when you least expect it. What a miracle. Someone bringing peace into your life wasn't complicated. Being on the same page. Someone loving you good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. Who would have knew someone truly showed you why true love wasn't complicated? You know, the energy is different. Someone sees you, hears you, respects you. They ain't have to dibble and dabble with sport to get your time of day when it come to your vocabulary. Who would have knew someone was wasting your time when it came to your weight? I don't mean no context either. It's a trade off for me. How God allows you to see someone could bring balance into your life, your biggest cheerleader up close and personal behind closed doors. Y'all may not pray the same, but who would have knew that true love wasn't complicated because someone had to put their hands on you. That energy is different. You know, someone actually walked into your life. It just got better with time and day when it comes to each and every day at the end of the day because they never had to switch up on you. Just let you see at the end of the day that you was comfortable in your own shoes. You know, someone wasn't trying to overlook you to choose somebody else because insecurity, hold on one second, it wasn't a projecting when it come to hold on one second. They were trying to paint you to be mentally unstable. No, it's a trade off for me. You know, because when the right person walks into your life, you gain a lover, a business partner, a best friend at the end of the day. Only to realize that who would have knew that true love can truly count on you. You know, it may not make sense to the average person, but when the right person walks into your life, they're not manipulating God. They're not projecting lust in a toxic way. They're not casting spells on you to get your time of day. No, it's a trade on me. I don't know who does that against someone. Well, you're a weird ass son of a bitch. You know, my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. But when the right person walks into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you, and they don't have malicious intentions towards you. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Always be yourself with no misintentions. And I say that respectfully. You know, when it comes to gang stalking, they will even have you under surveillance without your permission at the end of the day. And they try to picture them mentally unstable. They will try to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, even project the hate crime towards you, or even energy harvest off your energy. They will monitor every move from the time that you leave out your household. They will monitor your mail, make sure at the end of the day if they feel like giving it to you or not, or your packages. They make you feel like at the end of the day you're not worthy. They'll feel like they give it to you or not. It's a train of thought for me. You know, it all depends on how they feel. And if they can't control you at the end of the day, you know, the pain to be mentally unstable, how they would cause confusion in your life. They will make sure that you're not able to take care of yourself. They will want you to be homeless because they would cast spells when it comes to your finances. They would cast spells when it comes to your love life. They would cast spells in the day so you won't get up in the morning. How this type of stuff actually happens. Even they will even, you know, jealousy and envy when it starts to kick in. Even people would start to project their insecurity spells. You know, jealousy, hesitate on me when they come to your beauty. They will even try to project that on you. It's a thought for me. The list goes on. And my content is not for everyone. I'm far from a hater. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. I know how to give respect when it's due. I know how to give my name flowers when it's due at the end of the day. I'm far from a hater. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone regardless to what man or woman is trying to blackmail me against me. I say it respectfully. I walk these streets alone. I would never hurt myself regardless of what man or woman or elderly is threatening my life, or a child or couple. And I say it respectfully. I don't live in fear. We don't pray the same, but I'm far from a hater. No, that's the training thought. When someone now for you, just keep it pushing. What's wrong with people? Everybody got to talk to your stupid ass. It's a thought for me. You know, all help ain't good help. And when you don't run from your past, that energy is different. You make someone feel good within their own self. Because at the end of the day, when people start to look at them at the end of the day, you mean to tell me you was bothering this innocent person for no reason? You're a weirdo. I gotta go! You know, because people pick and choose who they want to bully, what the case be. But I gotta go. Peace and respect, some respect, some name, muscle, man, on them, you like God, don't go there, but on them, you like, stop the violence. Peace and respect, some respect, some name, muscle, you better run it on them, you like God, don't go there, but on them, you like. I do my content on YouTube from 10:15 every single day, Monday through Sunday. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. My content is not for everyone. Protect your energy, protect you and your family. Stay out of trouble. You're mad and you're worthy. My content is not for everyone. I am not a racist person, and I speak the truth. And I would never hurt myself regardless who's trying to blackmail me against me at the end of the day. You know, individuals will threaten your life and say they're going to ruin your life at the end of the day, all because they took your kindness to weakness. They thought you was a punching bag for so long until you started speaking up for yourself. Now they're quick to call you mentally unstable and willing to try to use your documentations against you, or trying to group people up to go up against you at the end of the day to say to them that you're not worthy. They will hack your devices trying to distract you. And then when you speak up for yourself, they quick to say that you're mentally unstable. You know, I don't wish this on no mother, regardless if you're a tarot reader, a musician, or whatever the case may be, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case may be. I just hope at the end of the day nobody projects that ever on your child when it comes to someone projecting spell work and making your child feel that they cannot elevate. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And that goes for a father too. My content is not for everyone. It's crazy how people would throw spell work at you and they quick to hide their hands. But God saw everything. But at the end of the day, I'm far from a hater. It's strength though for me. Always be yourself. You don't have to know somebody at the end of the day for them to know somebody, for someone to try to ruin your reputation, or for someone to look at you in a different type of light. Even when they do that, that does not mean stop showing up for you. Because someone has jealousy and envy and insecurity, or someone doesn't want you to prosper, or someone looks at you like competition, that does not mean stop showing up for you. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself. Loving yourself is not a crime, and I say respectfully. I go live every night on YouTube at 10:15 p.m. Monday through Sunday. I'm Naya, Junior Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone. It's strength though for me.
Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you.
You thought you was broken when it came to your heart. Who would have knew that someone bought you balance only was to hold on 1 second? You wasn't reaping what you was sowing because you actually healed the goal within. Only was to hold on 1 second. True love wasn't competition. That ain't just different. Because someone saw you within. Someone saw you on the outside. Understand the hold on 1 second. They wasn't trying to mislead your communication. Someone wanted the balance piece when it came into your life. Someone truly stepping for you, being your biggest cheerleader, didn't have to humble you. Didn't fumble you. That energy is different. Someone actually heard you when you overcame your past. That energy is different. How true love could truly last.
Love is real, love is one of a kind, with the right one truly for you.
Someone didn't have to manipulate God. Valuing your time and day, that energy is different. Who would have knew that y'all didn't have to pray the same? Regardless, y'all came from poverty and pain. Loving somebody, being loyal, respecting them at the end of the day, genuine, kind. At the end of the day, didn't have to switch up on somebody. That ain't just different. Being authentic. Finally, someone pouring into you. Your garden actually made sense when God showed you it was okay to be comfortable. Because someone wasn't trying to have their cake and eat it too. Someone truly showing at the end of the day. They were truly showing up for you. I may not make sense to the average person, but that's okay. They say fairy tales ain't real, but when the right person walks into your life, they see you, they hear you, and they respect you with no malicious intentions. I'm Naya, genuine love respect, and I'm still healing from a hate crime that was done to me. I would never hurt myself, and I say it respectfully. Always be yourself. You matter and you are worthy.
Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? Stop the violence in the community. You matter, you're worthy, don't dim your light. Yeah, you matter, you're worthy, don't dim your light. Go you, neighbor, neighbor, catch a blessing. Go you, neighbor, neighbor, catch a blessing. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Love yourself, don't dim your light. Don't match the energy, neighbor, neighbor. All the jealousy and hate is real.
Neighbor, it's your matter, your word. They never allow someone to dim your light. Being authentic is not a crime. Some folks can't relate to. Who would have knew? Allow you to see time. You matter, you're worthy. Because healing, trauma, and pain are the race overnight process. And I say it respectfully. Never give up on yourself when I say it respectfully. Regardless of who don't love you, respect you, protect you, or even meet you halfway at the end of the day. You poured into the wrong cup, but God sent the right people into your life. Who would have knew? You not overlooking you would never be a mistake. You matter, you're worthy. I'm Naya, G on Respect, and today is currently November 25th, 2005. Always be yourself. I'm live every day at 10:15 p.m. on YouTube. Always be yourself. I gotta go. Stop.